All right, let's go right out to Dove Valley and bring in the newest head coach of the Denver Broncos, the 15th coach in Broncos history, Mr. Gary Kubiak. Gary, congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much.
Can he hear us? Yes. He can? Okay. All right. Gary, were you comfortable today? I mean, did it feel like you were back home standing in front of everybody and a lot of familiar faces?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm ever comfortable in that situation, but yes, I was very comfortable with the people around me. Obviously, there were a lot of familiar faces, and good to see everybody, and just very excited about getting going. I wish I could have saw Mr. B. I wish that would have been very special for me, but no, it's a special day and one that I was looking forward to and will always cherish.
Gary, I thought you handled it so extremely well, and I was giving myself some of the credit because when you and John Elway walked out of on practice field the first day, I was the only person that talked to you, and you seemed very comfortable when you and I talked, and you told me ultimately you wanted to be a coach. But I thought you handled it well, and I would add my wishes that this is a perfect fit. Does it feel funny that one could have such a perfect fit in football, in a career?
Yeah.
Like you've had to have this fit to come back to Denver, to have John Elway there, to have, as you said, Pat Bowlen as the owner, who was the owner there, to have Joe Ellis that you worked with, to have the team that you have.
Yeah, it is amazing, Woody. I mean, after 30-something years in this business, and obviously many of them right here, that I'd get a chance at this stage of my career to return here and with all these familiar faces, and to go battle with the guy who obviously I'm very close to. So yeah, it is amazing. In the coaching business, there's so many things that happen, and to have this happen to me, I guess I can sit here and say I would have never dreamed it would happen. So it's just very, very special.
Gary, when John Fox left last week, John Elway stood in front of us and said it was because he and Fox had a difference of opinion as to how to get this team to the next level. How are you going to get the team to the next level?
Well, I mentioned that today in the press conference. Everybody uses the word next level, and those are always teams that are in the playoffs and don't quite get the trophy that particular year. So that's a great place to be. I mean, that's where you need to be as a football team if you're going to get it done. And John did a great job today, I think, talking about the things that you have to do once you get in that situation too. It takes a little luck. It takes playing your best football at a certain time of year. The thing I want to stay focused on is us as a football team. This is a heck of a football team. Us continuing to get better, us continuing to put ourselves in that position. If we do that, good things are going to happen. But I think there's first things first. You got to stay committed to the steps of winning a championship, and obviously talking about them and working toward them are two different things, and we need to make sure we're working toward them.
Do you think, Gary, that as a career backup, that it's very important that if Peyton Manning comes back, that Brock Osweiler gets more experience during the course of the year? Because at some point, whether it's this year or next year or the year after, there's going to be a transition to him. Do you feel like, having been through that same situation yourself, and I said earlier, you came in what I considered 6 critical games, including the AFC Championship, and did great jobs because you were fully prepared all the time. And I think part of that was based on the fact that you got some experience along the way. And I mentioned, Gary, and you wouldn't even know it, you're the only Broncos quarterback in history that has 7 games where you completed all of your passes.
That must have been at the end of the day, I'm sure. But no, I think with all players, Woody, I mean, all the young players on any football team, you're trying to find out everything you possibly can about them. And the only way you find out about players is, when they're put in the fire, so to speak. I think John mentioned that today. So, but one of the interesting things nowadays from a quarterback standpoint, around this league, there's a lot of places where guys get thrown in the fire, high draft choices right away, and it's very difficult. And not many guys get the opportunity to learn behind the great players that the young man here has. So, he's been very fortunate to, be behind a Hall of Famer, watch him prepare, watch him play. So, he's got to feel very lucky from that standpoint.
Hey, Gary, I know you've got a lot going on today. You're probably all questioned and answered out. Just want to ask you one very quick question. You have loyalties to a guy named Shanahan, and you have loyalties to a guy named Elway. So when you and Rhonda are going out to celebrate something and you want a steakhouse, which one do you go to?
Oh, that's a great question. I'll tell you what, before it's said and done, I hope to go to both. I can tell you that. How about that? I'll avoid it that way.
Great. Woody and I are thrilled that you and Rhonda are back in town, and we'll be seeing plenty of you. Good luck.
Okay, guys. You have a great day.
Thanks, Gary Kubiak, live from Dove Valley.
We didn't get the very end of that, but he was saying it's great to be back with you and Les, Woody. Because he missed us so much.